We'll call to order the House Standing Committee on Appropriations and Revenue meeting number 5, Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Annex Room 149. Please call the roll.
Representative Banta.
Present.
Representative Bojanowski.
Here.
Representative Bridges. Here. Representative Brown. Representative Dietz.
Here.
Representative Fleming. Representative Freeland. Representative Fugit.
Here.
Representative Gentry.
Here.
Representative Hart. Representative Lockett. Representative McPherson.
Here.
Representative Riley. Here. Representative Stevenson. Representative Thomas.
Present.
Representative Truitt. Representative Upchurch. Here. Representative Williams.
Here.
Vice Chair Bowling.
Here.
Vice Chair Bray.
Present.
Chair Petrie.
Here. Having a quorum. Up first, any member seeking recognition for special guests or otherwise, as long as you're being kind. Seeing none, we have up first on the agenda for consideration House Bill 537, to which there is a PHS 1.
Motion on PHS 1.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for adoption of PHS 1 to House Bill 537. All in favor? I'm sorry.
Could I ask to explain this?
You can, or sometimes it's less confusing if we have the sub up and then we only go through one explanation. Okay, thank you. Back to, we have a motion and a second for adoption of PHS 1 to House Bill 537. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? PHS 1 is adopted to House Bill 537, and that is what we have in front of us. If each of you at the table that may or may not be presenting, you'll raise your right hands first. If you'll just introduce yourselves for the records, make sure you've got the green light, really green. Introduce yourselves, please.
Good morning, Chairman Petrie, members of the committee. Will Schroeder, Senior Counsel for Attorney General Russell Coleman.
Chris Fugit, House District 84.
Chris Lewis. I'm the Division Direct Chief for Consumer and Senior Protection at the AG's office.
Very good. If each of you will raise your right hands, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Make sure that you do have those green lights on when you're speaking. As I understand, House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1 is not a preference bill. It's a bill necessitated by actions of bankruptcy judges relative to opioid settlements and terms that those judges may have included which were unknown heretofore. Present, please.
That is a good summary, Chairman Petrie. As members are aware, our great Commonwealth suffered severely by the opioid epidemic. As a response to that, in 2021, this honorable body passed House Bill 427. House Bill 427 set up the Opioid Abatement Advisory Committee. And one of the things that it did, it broke down the when funds came in as a result of opioid settlements. There was a breakdown that 50% of that money would stay with the state, 50% would go to local governments. What we couldn't have known in 2021 was that there'd be a number of opioid-related bankruptcies, and these are multi-state bankruptcies. So states across the country have entered agreements with the companies, and these bankruptcy judges have had a different formula planned, and they put that in the judgments. So this statute would allow Kentucky to receive the money. There's already money that we should receive as a result of the bankruptcies, but we can't because our current formula.
Motion on House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1.
Have a motion and a second for final passage adoption of House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1. You may proceed.
I think we're good, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Any members seeking recognition for comment or question? Really quickly, this bill as modified by PHS 1 doesn't change the formula, doesn't change the money, doesn't change the substantive terms. It just changes the catcher's mitt by which the state's receiving the funds to make sure that we can receive the curveballs and knuckleballs from the bankruptcy judges.
And then the formula will be decided through regs. And this is KLC and KCO have seen this.
Okay. Any member seeking recognition for comment or question? Seeing none, please call a roll.
Representative Banta.
Yes.
Representative Bojanowski.
Yes.
Representative Bowling.
Yes.
Representative Bray.
Aye.
Representative Bridges.
Yes.
Representative Brown. Representative Dietz.
Yes.
Representative Fleming. Representative Freeland. Representative Fugit.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Yes.
Representative Hart. Representative Lockett. Representative McPherson.
Yes.
Representative Riley. Representative Stevenson.
Yes.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Truitt. Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Williams. Chair Petrie.
Yes. Representative Freeland, do you wish to register a vote on House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1?
I do. I voted yes, and
Thank you.
my attendance. I apologize for
No
being
problem.
late,
Thank you
coming
very
from
much.
another meeting.
House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1, having received 17 yes votes and 0 nay votes and 0 pass votes, will be reported with favorable expression that same should pass on the floor. Thank you all very much. Next up for consideration, we have House Bill 695. This is the same issue that we discussed and received information on last week. An act relating to Medicaid program and declaring an emergency. Representative Adam Bowling. House Bill 695 does have a PHS 1.
Motion on PHS 1.
Have a motion and a second for adoption of PHS 1 to House Bill 695. All in favor? All opposed? PHS 1 is adopted. We have before us House Bill 695 as amended by PHS 1. And if you will, introduce yourself for the record, please.
Adam Bowling, State Representative, the 87th District.
And if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What we have before us is House Bill 695 as amended by PHS 1. We all know what Medicaid is in general terms, but it is a massive program. Yeah. So we all know what Medicaid is. Everybody understands it. It's a massive program within our state government. There are federal components, there are state components, but it's a huge program in our state. It's the second largest general fund dollar item in our state budget currently. It affects 1 in 3 Kentuckians, I believe, are on Kentucky Medicaid or K-CHIP now. It affects every healthcare provider, every system in the state, every city, every county. It's all over the state. So it's a vitally important program that we have. And all we are trying to do is between House Bill 695 and another bill we have, House Bill 9, is we are trying to stabilize the program. The two bills, they kind of work in tandem. I'm going to get to the details on 695 here shortly. But House Bill 695, all we want to do is let's stabilize it. Let's hold things where they are. Let's see what comes down the pike from the federal government. Let's get some more data, some more information as we work through it, and then we'll be able to make better decisions. So 695, stabilize, short term. House Bill 9, which is Medicaid Oversight and Advisory Board, for that, hopefully we'll get that across the line this session, get that board set up, and then we can have members of the executive branch, the legislative branch, and providers and others at the same table so we can get information, get everybody at the same table, and so that we can make better decisions on Medicaid as we move forward. So both these bills are vitally important this session. I'm going to hit the high points on 695 real quick. But sections 1 through 3, they limit the cabinet's authority to make changes to the Medicaid program on new waivers, state plan amendments, and coverage expansions. Again, stabilize where we are, short term, don't grow. That's what we're trying to get to in those 3 sections. Section 4 authorizes the cabinet to move forward with an 1115 community engagement waiver and report back on progress. That's all we're asking. Move forward on this. Let us know what's going on. Keep us up to date. Section 5 creates the Kentucky Medicaid Pharmaceutical Rebate Fund. Again, in the state, we're now receiving about $1.5 billion in rebates a year. We're giving full authority to the cabinet for them to continue to use those rebates as they have been. We just want to bring more transparency to it so that we can make better decisions in the future.
Motion on House Bill 695 is amended by PHS 1.
Thank you.
Have a motion and a second on House Bill 695 as amended by PHS 1. If you please proceed.
Thank you. Section 6 requires the cabinet to inform the LRC of waiver applications, waiver amendments, waiver renewals, or state plan amendment applications. Again, more data, more transparency. We know what's coming down the pike. Nothing catches us off guard. That's all we're trying to get to there. Section 7 requires quarterly reporting requirements to interim committees and the Office of Budget Review. Again, more data, more transparency, better decisions in the future. Section 8 requires record retention for not less than 7 years. More data, more information, better decisions. Section 9 limits certain billing codes to no more than 1 hour per day and no more than 100 hours in a calendar year. Section 10 requires the cabinet to report barriers of implementation on any Medicaid-related bills within 7 days following a standing committee's report that a bill should pass. Again, if something that we do in the legislative branch, if it's going to have consequences or unintended consequences, let us know while we're in session so we can make changes and we don't see things that come up 2 months down the road when we're out of session and there's nothing we can do about it. Section 11 directs the cabinet to reinstate prior authorizations for behavioral health as they existed on January 1st, 2020. Section 12 requires the cabinet to procure new Medicaid MCO contracts with an effective date no later than January 1st of 2027. Section 13 requires all managed care organizations to collaborate on the development of a shared scorecard for behavioral health and substance use disorder treatment services and providers. Again, let's get better information for enrollees that are looking to go into these programs, and let's also open up communication between the MCOs and the providers on best practices. Section 14 clarifies that programs funded under our current budget bill language, House Bill 6 and House Bill 1 from 2024, serves as authorization to continue those programs in the current form. Again, stabilize, not expand. That's what we're trying to get to. There's a lot of concern we had heard out there from folks that said, well, you know, it requires that we have to update this bit of information in August or September or at the end of the third quarter or whenever it might be. Would this stop that? We're saying, look, if it's already in existence, if it's currently a program that is functioning and ongoing, we're not trying to stop that. We're just trying to look at new expansions. And then Section 15, simply an emergency clause that goes into effect immediately.
Very good. We do have a motion and a second on the bill. Representative Bojanowski, comment or question?
Question, if I may.
Please.
Okay, so my question's about rebates. And Medicaid is way out of my purview of things that I really understand and know a lot about. But so the Kentucky Medicaid Pharmaceutical Rebate Fund, is that similar to an escrow fund? And is there any language in the bill that restricts that money to be spent only on Medicaid?
First of all, to your first point about you understand Medicaid, but it's way outside of your purview, I feel like that's how all 100 members in the House feel and 38 members in the Senate. That's why we have Medicaid Oversight and Advisory Board,
right,
so we can make better decisions moving forward. But to answer your question, no, it's not an escrow account, and no, there are no restrictions. The Cabinet can use it how they used it yesterday and moving forward that way.
If I may ask a follow-up?
Yes, please.
So could the General Assembly potentially pull that money out of Medicaid and spend it on something else?
Well, I'm going to
entirely?
ask that. The General Assembly appropriates money, and it has to weigh up all priorities at all times. So everything is always up for consideration. Is there a pre-planned destination for this? No. Are all things up for consideration? Yes.
Thank you. And if I may, one more brief question?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So on the work requirements waiver, do you have any evidence from others?
Is that the community engagement piece?
Correct. The community engagement waiver. Is there any evidence from other states that have incorporated that people lose coverage even though they're eligible because of paperwork reasons?
Yeah, I think it's more specific to each state and how those programs are implemented. It's really a state to state on what all is required and kind of the how they set it up on the front end, I guess is the best way to say it. But yeah, under community engagement waivers, there's all sorts of different waivers. There's all sorts of ways to go about, implementing those.
Thank you.
Yep.
Community engagement waiver, that's been in statute since community engagement program has been in statute since about 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have we had a lot of people kicked off because of that?
Not that I know of, sir.
Yep. Representative Bridges.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make sure this is doing what I think it does. I sat on administrative regs. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of unelected, and I want to repeat that, unelected members of the cabinets that propose reg changes that expand and cause more spending on these departments. Will this address any of that?
If it is new expansions outside of the scope we're currently operating in, then yes, it would affect those. Again, we're just until MOAT or until Medicaid Oversight and Advisory can get set up and really dive into the prescriptive policy that we want to see going forward. Let's hold things where they are. Let's stabilize. Let's don't expand.
Okay. Thank you.
Representative Fleming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to compliment the chairman in terms of last year. He put forth a bill to look at the board, and so I think that's going forward, and hopefully that will come to fruition in this general assembly. So I do appreciate the efforts in that. And Representative Bowen, I do appreciate your efforts. You're exactly right. This is not only complex on the surface, but at each complexity within that surface goes down multi-layers and becomes even more mind-boggling and understanding all that stuff. I just want to comment, Mr. Chairman, on this particular bill. This has been classified or described to me as a triage approach in terms of trying to get an understanding, and through the budget review of the Health and Family Services over the past several weeks, the committee has gone through and looked at and had Medicaid personnel to come in and address a lot of the issues. And basically, my summation, I'm very concerned on the oversight and the understanding and the complexity and the transparency that Medicaid has and how it's structured. You're right, it's the second largest budget item, and it seems to me nobody's been really adhering to that, attending to the House. And I think from last year and this year, I think we're taking a serious look about doing that. In the budget review, Health and Family Services, we looked at several things: oversight, benefit administration, waivers, fraud, and several other things. And we came away, at least I came away with some concerns about that. There are basically, I know the federal government is looking at changing some things, and I got a feeling from the conversations there's not really a proactive, more of a reactive approach to what's going on. And there's got to be certain projections and understanding in terms of the financial impact to our budget. But more important, and just as important, is how we're going to continue to serve those individuals who are most in need, or least among us. Some of those buckets include work requirements, the limit, the state provider tax, reduce federal matches, the per capita on expansion, and per capita on the whole entire Medicaid population. I just want to underscore that when the administration came to testify just on expansion, 1% decrease, and we get around 90% out of 10% of pull down from the federal money, 1% of that will equate to about $75 million impact on our general funds. That's a serious concern. And then you look at overall, it could be a whole lot more. It could be even, I mean, my own calculations of the $100 to $120 million if you start playing around with those matches. So we're looking at some serious issues, and I appreciate the chairman and Representative Bowen to take on the initiative. I look forward to supporting the efforts in doing that. But I just want to make sure that this committee takes this seriously and that we need to really make sure there's a strong balance between the costs. But like I said, looking at those folks to help them out who are least among us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Thank you. Representative Gentry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question, probably a curious type thing. If I remember, I'm getting old, so I might have forgotten, but if I remember when we were in here last week and we had discussion only on this bill, there was a substitute one at that time. Was that correct?
This bill was up for discussion only last week, so there was no PHS adopted or considered.
Okay, but we had a printout; it just wasn't adopted. Is that correct?
There was.
So when you have changes to it, it's still the new document becomes PHS1, and the other one disappears. Is that how it works?
PHS1 was a continuation of a committee sub that started and is now concluded today. No PHS was adopted nor even introduced for adoption, so it remains PHS1 until it was adopted today.
Okay, so you can keep them. Okay, you learn something every day. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other members seeking? Representative Stevenson.
I think the oversight board is a really good idea. Do we have any idea when that will be structured? And yeah, that's the first question. When that will be in operation?
It also has an emergency clause on it, so it will become effective immediately. And I mean, my hopes is as soon as possible.
Please.
And this bill does nothing, you say, but hold everything steady. There are no changes except so we can wait for that board to be in action and look at everything.
That is the goal of this piece of legislation before us today. There is certain sections on, certain billing codes holding it to 1 hour per day, 100 hours in a calendar year. Some of that the cabinet had issued some guidance on. But yeah, I mean, that big picture, that is our goal. Let's stabilize. Let's get more information. A lot of these sections here are just requiring more information, and hopefully Medicaid Oversight and Advisory can take all this under consideration and make better policy prescriptions moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to make sure on the stabilization part, you got stabilization of program or you got stabilization of funding budget, or both. This is seeking to address both of those things without getting too deep into Medicaid policy, correct? Okay.
Correct.
Seeing no other members seeking recognition for comment or question, please call the roll on House Bill 695 as amended by PHS1.
Representative Banta.
Yes.
Representative Bojanowski.
Pass.
Representative Bowling.
Yes.
Representative Bray.
Aye.
Representative Bridges.
Yes.
Representative Brown.
Pass.
Representative Dietz.
Yes.
Representative Fleming.
Aye.
Representative Freeland.
Yes.
Representative Fugit.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Explain my vote, please.
Please, briefly.
There's a lot here, and I'm not the expert in Medicaid. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and I'm going to be a pass today. I think the intent is good. Anytime you have fiscal responsibility, looking for efficiencies, it's a good thing. I do caution this body. Sometimes there's a fine line there between fiscal responsibility and micromanagement into another branch. We have to have a level of faith and trust in the experts that work in this area. It's good to get data supporting what they're doing, but if they spend half their time collecting data sometimes you lose that efficiency. So not saying that we're doing that here, just saying that we should keep that in mind as we move forward. So thank you.
Representative Hart.
Yes, and I also like to record my presence as well.
Representative Lockett. Representative McPherson.
Yes.
Representative Riley. Representative Stevenson.
Explain my vote.
Yes, briefly.
Okay. My concern is we are establishing an oversight board to deal with this mammoth of a organization, the Medicaid, and yet we're still in this bill, going in, doing a little here, a little there, instead of letting the board handle it. The board will be up and ready to go, as you say, as soon as possible. And the big problem is we all say we don't understand it, so we don't know how many people will be kicked off because of this bill. So I'm a no.
Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Truitt.
Yes.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Williams.
Yes.
Chair Petrie.
Yes.
Three passes.
House Bill 695 is amended by PHS 1, having received 16 yes votes, 1 nay vote, and 3 pass votes, will be reported with favorable expression that same would pass on the floor. Thank you very much, Representative Bowling. And Representative Hart, do you wish to record a vote on House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1?
Yes, I'd like to record a yes vote on that.
Thank you. Any other member? Representative Truitt, do you wish to record a vote on House Bill 537 as amended by PHS 1?
Yes, I'm a yes on 537.
Yes on 537.
Representative Brown, do you wish to record a vote on House Bill 537 PHS 1?
Yes on 537.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Is that a yes, you do, and yes, there's a yes vote?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Both.
Representative Boland, thank you for staying there. We're going to pass over House Bill 544, resolutions for consideration. First up, we have House Joint Resolution 31. Coming from last year's budget bills, we had another contingent appropriation that's similar to what we've taken up before. We have on this bill a PHS 1.
Motion on PHS 1.
Have a motion and a second for adoption of PHS 1 to House Joint Resolution 31. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? PHS 1 is adopted to House Joint Resolution 31, and that is what we have before us. And PHS 1 would grant final approval on the $5 million appropriation made in 24 to be applied toward the Department of Agriculture's Economic Development Initiative. Three of you, if you'll if you'll introduce yourselves for the record, I'm sorry.
Adam Bowling, State Representative, 87th District.
Brandon Reed, Executive Director, Kentucky Office of Ag Policy, KDA.
Jacob Estes, Director of Economic Development for the Kentucky Department of Agriculture.
Very good. Will each of you raise your right hands? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. So you've heard the summary. Anything else we need to know about this one? Oh, come on. I'm going to encourage no votes if they're not going to speak up. Come on now.
This is the resolution that appropriates the $5 million for agriculture is economic development, a separate fund for the Department of Agriculture to seek out economic development in the areas of agriculture throughout the Commonwealth. It is a companion bill to Senate Bill 28, which is in your possession.
Very, Very good. We have a motion and a second on the bill, on the resolution, House Joint Resolution as amended by PHS 1. Anything else further from y'all? Thank you. Seeing no member seeking recognition for comment or question, please call the roll.
Representative Banta.
Yes.
Representative Bojanowski.
Yes.
Representative Bowling. Representative Bray.
Yes.
Representative Bridges.
Yes.
Representative Brown.
Yes.
Representative Dietz.
Yes.
Representative Fleming. Representative Freeland.
Yes.
Representative Fugit.
Yes.
Representative Gentry.
Yes.
Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Lockett. Representative McPherson.
Explain my vote, please.
Yes, briefly.
So I'm a yes on this today, and I'm really happy. You know, the agriculture community does so much and is so expansive to our Commonwealth, and I appreciate this going forward. Thank you.
Representative Riley. Yes. Representative Stevenson. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Representative Truitt.
Yes.
Representative Upchurch.
Yes.
Representative Williams.
Yes.
Chair Petrie.
Yes. House Joint Resolution 31 is amended by PHS 1, having received 20 yes votes, 0 nay votes, and 0 pass votes, will be reported with favorable expression that same should pass on the floor. Thank you all very much. We will pass over House Joint Resolution 33. We are adjourned. Thank you.